Definitely need to hear this. Come on. I've got the Lil Tube plugin spread out across my channels. I've got it on my bass, keys, my vocals, my drums. Few instances, but the difference you're gonna feel. Check this out.
We can go anywhere, it's up to you. We can build a castle up to the sky or to the moon. And we can do whatever you wanna do. I'm in the mood.
This is the Magma Lil Tube, the Lil Tube saturator plugin with a big sound. It's the first of our Magma series of plugins, which focus on the sound, attitude, and simplicity of analog gear. This one has got the fatness and the warmth you're gonna wanna throw on every track in your session. So if you're mixing 100% in the box, this plugin is gonna give you the warmth you've been missing. Now let me show you how to add a little flavor to your individual tracks. We're gonna start by adding a little power and weight to the drums. Let's dial that in. All right, let's work the bass now. We're gonna give it a little more roundness, a little more fatness. Check it out. All right, let's bring the vocals in. Definitely gotta make those jump out a little bit more. Let's dial that up.
The moon is falling under the sea. The night's getting old, don't think about it. Boy, must be blind, can't you see I'm on fire?
And that's what this plugin is all about. Few controls, but a big impact on your sound. A little bit of tube saturation to get that warmth and analog vibe into your digital recordings. Let's go ahead and A/B that real quick.
Come be with me, I know what you need. Being what it was inside the these things. The moon is falling under the sea. The night's getting old, don't think about it. Boy, must be blind, can't you see I'm on fire? It's only on my mind, yeah, you've been giving me signs. Why you trying to go high? Don't you wanna get high? Baby, leave the world behind, come be by my side.
This is a plugin you want to put on every channel just so you have it there ready and waiting to warm things up. Let's open up another session. Let me show you how effective it can be in terms of warming things up, and I'm barely gonna push it. Now I've got it here on this session on pretty much every channel, even on the master.
You don't put plugins on the master.
I'm putting it on the master just for the sake of this example. I'm barely pushing it. On this track, I've got it on 3, this one 2, this one on 1, on the keys. Again, I'm not pushing it at all. It's on default. Let me play you the difference. First with all the plugins off, and then we're gonna turn it on. Here we go.
Steady with the work, just another day. Still the squad deep, moving on a major wave. Keep my head to the sky either way. Set it off for the block, son, that's how we play. Since they ain't want us to exist, we broke bricks for government of a miss. And pen scripts with profits off the pins. It's cold spit from within the mouth of madness.
It's like running your tracks through a vintage tube console. Let's check it out on a few more examples. This drum loop. You hear how we brought out more of that thump? Let's do this. I'm gonna open up a meter and A/B this just so you can see what's going on. Check this out. So you can see we actually reduced peak levels, but at the same time, we got it to jump out of the speakers a little bit better and give it more perceived loudness. Let me show you what I mean on these bongos right here. Now watch the meter as I turn the plug-in on and off. So you see how all this energy right in between here increased? That's what I'm talking about. The peak levels didn't move, but at the same time, we brought out more of that energy. All right, let's throw the rest of the mix on and work the bass. I'm gonna leave it on the normal setting and dial it up. So if we listen in solo, you hear we just kissed it with a subtle amount of saturation, but then when you throw it on with the mix, that's when the saturation is good. Let's check it out on some vocals.
Yeah, I know it's more than life than fighting back and forth on devices. Whose photos brighter, who trick them the nicest? We toe to toe and bar for bar to see who nicest. And fights used to lead to black ass, but now they lead to arthritis. From all the typing and swiping left to right, you can try with all your might, you might not find a wifey. Because when partnerships are made at light speed, there is no time to sit back and consider things you might see.
See, it's snuggled in there nicely with everything else, but it's also jumping out, but in a good way. So I showed you that just by running your tracks through it, just by giving it a little drive, you get those warm and vibey results. Now, let's see what happens when we go hard with it. Let's see if we can push it, get aggressive, and see if we can add some more character to it. I've got this session right here.
Couldn't get on my level with wings. Up in the trees, yeah. Marking my territory, I make it look easy.
We can start by adding a little edge to the drums with a sensitivity on hard. Now, the harder we push it, the heavier it clamps down on those transients and reduces the signal. So we're just gonna bring up the output a little bit and match the level. Let's work the bass now. We're gonna keep the sensitivity on normal, but let's get a little aggressive with the drive. Let's crank it up. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead now and just bring down the output and match the original level. Last thing I'm gonna do is work the vocals.
Couldn't get on my level with wings. Up in the trees, yeah. Marking my territory, I make it look easy.
Let's see if we can add a little bit more presence, add some color, and get them to jump out over that beat.
Couldn't get on my level with wings. I'm up in the trees, yeah. Marking my territory, I make it look
I'm gonna bring up the level.
Thanks to my steez, got the glow and the glory made for me.
Just until it barely starts to distort.
Wildlife girl, beat my drum. Party of one, it's not a party.
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Look at that fit, aiming for great. I really miss. Hit for
Right
the
there is
love.
good.
Throw me a kiss.
Let's hear it in the mix now.
Couldn't get on my level with wings. Up in the trees, yeah. Marking my territory, I make it look easy. Thanks to my steez, got the glow and the glory made for me.
There it is. Let's hear back now where we started, and then after adjusting with Lil Tube. Here's the before.
Couldn't get on my level with wings. Up in the trees, yeah. Marking
And
my
after.
territory, I make it look easy. Thanks to my steez, got the glow and the glory made for me.
Small amount of knobs, big amount of impact. This one definitely gonna turn your flat in the box mixes into something bigger, warmer, and more analog sounding. Now, to learn more about this incredible tube saturator plugin, make sure you visit waves.com/LittleTube right now.